everyone, welcome back to this channel with me, Azzahra Aprilia. Hello. In this video, we will discuss the lesson about analytical exposition text. We will discuss the meaning of analytical exposition text, what is purpose, the structure of the analytical exposition, language feeder in analytical exposition text, and I will show you an example of an analytical exposition text. So here is the definition of analytical exposition. As we can see that there are the word analytical and exposition. Analytical here means to analyze or examine something, and exposition here means a broad explanation. So that we can conclude analytical exposition means writing that contains opinion about things that are happening now based on careful analysis. From the definition that have been explained, we can see that the purpose of analytical exposition. So the purpose is to provide information to readers about events that are currently happening, as well as to tell reader how the writer responds to this event. The analytical exposition text consists of three parts. This structure will help you understand the contents of the writing and what is actually being discussed. This structure are thesis, argument, reiteration. So let's discuss for the first structure, thesis. The thesis is the part that tells the reader about the main topic and point of view of the author. The thesis is the first part of the analytical exposition text, where the writer will describe the events that are happening. Then, the author will state his initial opinion and explain the position. The position here means whether the author supports or disagrees with the event. And the second structure, arguments. Arguments are opinions to support the main topic that has been presented before. Usually, in analytical exposition, there are more than two arguments. The more argument presented, the more the reader will believe that the topic being discussed is important or requires attention. And then the last structure, reiteration. After the thesis and argument section have been presented, of course, it will be closed with a conclusion or reiteration. This section is always located at the end of the text and become the closing paragraph of the piece. Reiteration is reaffirmation of the author, position, and opinion on the main topic. Reiteration is also referred to as conclusion. And then, apart from the structure, you also have to know about the language feeder of analytical exposition text. The language feeder as follows. First, writing analytical exposition text using the simple present tense. The second one, using words that express the author's thoughts or feeling, for example, experience, feel, know, realize, sense, think, and etc. And then the last language feeder of analytical exposition text is using connective word, or namely connecting word. The use of connective word aims to connect ideas, be they phrases, clauses, sentences, or paragraph.
In order for you to understand better, let's see together the following example of the analytical exposition text. The title is Why Indonesian People Should Value All Different Culture. The first thing in this analytical exposition text is to explain the main idea, or in other words, thesis of the text. So, the thesis of the text here is Indonesia is a culturally diverse country. Many different religions and culture from many provinces are now seen living side by side in many places. One of the biggest questions facing Indonesian today is how to deal with a culturally diverse citizenry and then promote unity. After that, there are arguments that support the previous statement stating the reason why Indonesians should respect the differences between culture. Here are 3 arguments that support. For the first argument, therefore, Indonesians should appreciate differences among culture for the following reason. Firstly, Indonesia is vulnerable to separation for its archipelago and culture diversity. Raising tolerance among people is the best way to maintain the unity among differences. Many ways or culture of living are equally legal, even if they are not regarded as normal by some people. If a society claims to be tolerant of personal choice, then it must respect the personal choice to retain their heritage. Then, unity of the nation can be preserved. So, the first argument states that Indonesia is vulnerable to separation for each archipelago and cultural diversity. Furthermore, the second argument is, secondly, Indonesians must recognize that every culture has different customs and beliefs. Thus, people are forbidden to make judgment of comparative value, for it is measuring something unmeasured. A plurality of nations, especially in the modern era, can allow for cultural development and cultural exchange that benefit both parties. The cross-cultural understanding among cultures make the world a better place and preserve the unity of the nation. So, the second argument states that people must realize that every culture has different customs and belief. And the third argument states, lastly, raising nationalism is one way to preserve unity of the nation. It is a sense of feeling between group members. This promotes cooperation and social cohesion within the group. The sense of social cooperation makes welfare, social security, and medical program much more likely and stronger. And the third argument states that increasing nationalism is one way to preserve the unity of the nation. There is a restatement, or it can be called as a reiteration, where it is stated here, cultural differences are sometimes a sensitive matter for people. Indonesia people must teach younger generation about the importance of the cultural identity and nationalism to promote unity of the nation. So everyone, until here our discussion about analytical exposition text. Hopefully this video is useful for you all, and thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next video. Bye bye.